Well, it is time for late October planting update. Here in eastern Oklahoma, we had some rain the last couple days. Uh, Knew that that was coming, so I went ahead and I harvested all of our potatoes. This is everything that we got. This is today's batch of tomatoes. Some of these are split because of the rain. That's no big deal. That's just more food I give to the chickens. A lot of the little guys are still good, and there's a bunch out there I'm hoping will ripen up in about the next day or so. So we'll probably get another batch about like this. And the end of the peppers. Oh, there's still some tomatoes in there. Anyhow, that's about what we have for the end of October. Not exactly unexpected for this late in the year to not have a whole lot, but definitely happy that we still have some stuff coming off. So we're gonna get this processed up and get them canned. So we'll have these through the winter. All right, so we got the chilies processed up. Normally I don't really show this stage of things on here, but these are, all we did was run them through a grinder, a vegetable chopper, and then can them. So we can use them to make hot sauce. We can, do a few different things. Whoop, that one. Well, I guess we'll be eating that one tonight. Anyhow, all we did was it's just the peppers. So we've kind of experimented a few different ways of preserving the peppers. We've taken them and vacuum sealed them, put them in the freezer, and then we have the whole pepper to work with. Obviously, we make a bunch of salsa. We've done dehydrating, where we put them in the dehydrator, and then, we can grind them up. Yeah, so I found one. You can take them like this, and you can use them as like whole or partial chilies in a recipe. And then sometimes I'll take these and I'll run them through a spice grinder and turn it into like just a fine powder. And then you can add that to food as well. But so we've done that. This is really the only thing that we haven't done. And the main reason was we didn't necessarily have a reason for or a use in mind for them right now. So instead of adding flavor or going and buying tomatoes or whatever, we just figured we'd chop them up and can them the way they were, and then that gives us the most flexibility with what we want to do later. I mean, I'm sure if we wanted to, we could even dehydrate these and then turn it into like a powder. I don't really know what else you could do, so I mean, I'm open to ideas if anybody's got any other ideas for how to preserve these things. But like I said, we've dried them, we've vacuum packed and frozen the whole things, and then now we kind of doing that puree and put them in a can. But anyway, this is probably going to close out the year. All right, now I know it's a little bit late in the year. Normally we don't do this, but we happened to find some birds that were in a bin. They were marked 50% off, and these 5 birds were getting beat up pretty well by all the other birds. And let's see if this guy will calm down a little bit. They were all bloody when we brought them in. Hi. So we're hoping, there we go. We're hoping that We'll get them all healed up. They've been in here for a couple days. They're doing real well with the heat lamp and everything. This little guy actually has a hole in it, but since we got them all together, they're not pecking on each other, so I think that we'll be okay. But this was a straight run, so we have no idea if they're boys or girls. One way or the other, they'll do something that we need them to do. But yeah, normally we don't do this late in the year. Mainly the reason that I'm hoping that they're going to be girls. We picked up those 4, I think they're Australorps, this time last year, or maybe it was last spring. I don't quite recall, but those birds they produce pretty well, and this is their first year that they produced. The eggs are really, really calcium heavy on the feed that we give them, and that's fine. It doesn't really bother me too much, but they're really noisy birds. And, you know, for some folks that doesn't matter, but because we are suburban and we have a neighborhood, I have to do what I can to keep the neighbors halfway happy. So hopefully these birds will grow up and they won't be quite so noisy as the other ones, but we'll see what happens.